Jai Shishi Guru Garangandhar Vikagiri Shishi Radha Vinod Bihari Ju ki Jai. Shri Govinda Gopinath Madan Mohan Ju ki Jai. Nitya Lila Prabhushtam Vishnupad Ashtara Shata Shishimad Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Gosai Maharaj Shri Gurudev ki Jai. Nitya Lila Prabhushtam Vishnupad Ashtara Shata Shishimad Bhakti Vedanta Vaman Gosai Maharaj ki Jai. Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupara Shatarashita Shishmar Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Gosvāmī. Sorry, let me just focus my mind again. I thought of something else. Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupara Shatarashita Shishmar Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupāda ki Jai. Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupara Shatarashita Shishmar Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Gosvāmī Mahārāja ki Jai. Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupara Shatarashita Shishmar Jagat Guru Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Gosvāmī Prabhupāda ki Jai. Śrīla Prabhupāda Parshad Vrinda ki Jai. Jai Nityala Pravishta Maha Bhagavat Śrīla Gaura-kīśora Das Bābājī Mahārāja ki Jai. Namo Nityala Pravishtam Vishnupāda Shatarashita Shmad Śrīla Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Ṭhākura ki Jai. Nityala Pravishta Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Śrīla Jagannath Das Bābājī Mahārāja ki Jai. Shri Rupa Nuga Guru Varga ki Jai. Jai Śrīla Baladev Vijibhushan Prabhu ki Jai. Śrīla Vishwanath Chakravarti Ṭhākura ki Jai. Shri Narottam Srinivas Shamananda Prabhu Trai ki Jai. Śrīla Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Pad ki Jai. Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jeev Gopal Patadasa Gunath Shad Goswami Prabhu ki Jai. Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda ki Jai. Namacharya Śrīla Haridas Ṭhākura ki Jai. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Shri Kshetra Mandala Gaura Mandala Braja Mandala Mathura Vrindavan Dham ki Jai. Sarva Abhishtabhradata Giriraj Maharaj ki Jai. Shri Radha Kunda Shama Kunda ki Jai. Shri Yamuna Devi Ganga Devi ki Jai. Shri Tulsi Maharani Brinda Devi ki Jai. Shri Bhakti Devi ki Jai. Shri Purnamasi Yoga Maya ki Jai. Shri Gopeshwar Mahadev ki Jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai. And Jai Shri, what is it? Srila Akinchana Krishnadas Bābājī Mahārāja ki Jai. Tadya Shubha Tirobhav Titi ki Jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai. Samagata Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Shinitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bo. All the periodicals of Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Goswami Prabhupada and all of his followers. Ki Jai. Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranams. Nri Hari Prabhu, Bhavatarani Mataji, Satya Mataji, Anari Krishna Prabhu, Krishna Mai Didi, Shubhananda Prabhu, Prajumna Prabhu, Mantaramurti Mataji, and everybody else watching on YouTube and Facebook. Dandavat pranams. So now we begin our 7th Iṣṭa-goṣṭhī, going through all these amazing articles from Rays of the Harmonists. All right, so I'm going to just start. Actually, maybe we should do a short Mangala Charan. Yeah, I'll do a short Mangala Charan. Okay. Ajnānatimirandhasya jnānanjana shalakaya chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave namaha. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Vancha Kalapatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. I'll do Srila Sarasvatī Thakur Prabhupāda and Gaura-kīśora Bābājī Mahārāja's Pranam Mantra because we're going to read. Yeah, that makes sense. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī iti namine Shivarshabhanavi Devi Daitai Kripabdaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Dayane Prabhave Namaha Madhuryojjvala Premadhya Shirupanuga Bhaktida Śrī Gaura-karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dinatarine Rupanuga Virudhapa Siddhanta Dvantaharine Namo Gaura-kiśorāya Shakshad Vairāgyamurtaye Vipralambara Sambodhe Padambujayate Namaha Bhaja Shri Krishna Vrindai Tulsi Devai Priyaya Keshavasya Krishna Bhakti Pradadevi Sattvatai Namo Namaha Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrindam Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama Rama Hare Hare Haribo Manjari Didi and Rasa Priya Didi. Hare Krishna. All right, so we are now continuing on. It's today's Krishna Panchami. It's the disappearance day of Śrīla Krishnadas Bābājī Mahārāja, very unique, very dear associate of Śrīla, disciple of Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Gosvāmī Prabhupāda. And every Krishna Panchami, because that's the Tithi that Śrīla Sarasvatī Thakur Prabhupada appeared on, every Krishna Panchami, we're reading an article by him. So, and we're going from, in all the Rays of the Harmonist issues, we're going backwards. So we completed the 2014 Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Thakur special edition of Rays of the Harmonist. And now we're reading from, I think, the 2011 Tirubhav Tithi edition. Yeah, Rays of the Harmonist. I forgot what number it is, but this article, okay, let me just share my screen. Oh, and Hare Krishna Archana Didi. Haribo. So, and Champak Mataji, Haribo. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So, also, if anybody wants to join these programs on, like if you're watching on YouTube and Facebook and you want to join here on Zoom to be part of the discussion, you can find the links and everything to join on raysoftheharmonist.com. And you'll see there's a place to enter in your email, and you can be subscribed to the mailing list so that 24 hours before we start the session, I send out the email with the article. It's laid out nicely in an email, and you can also find an ebook of it if you want to read it on your Kindle or any other device that you have made ebook for like that. So if you want to receive that, then go to raysoftheharmonist.com. Right. See, here's all the, oops, where is it? Here are all the ebooks that we made. Here's the one for today, Gaura-kīśora, Relinquishing the Desire for Pratishtha, Transcendental Vaishnavas, Immortal Oceans of Mercy, A Glimpse of Bhakti Vinod Dhara, Ṭhākura Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod, and Ṭhākura Bhakti Vinod, a speciality of Śrīla Bhakti Vinod Thakur's Vāni. These are all the articles that we've read so far. So, all right, so beginning. Let's go to the beginning. Where did it go? Okay, and if anybody ever has anything they want to say, anything they want to share, um, you can turn on your mic and just jump in. You don't even need to hold up your hand or anything like that. You can just, yeah, don't feel uncomfortable about cutting me off or anything like that. All right. So, okay, so Śrī Gaura-kīśora, the deity of ideal renunciation by Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Ṭhākura Prabhupāda. And these are excerpts from a glorification that Śrīla Sarasvatī Ṭhākura Prabhupāda gave on Śrī Gaura-kishora's Bābājī Mahārāja on his disappearance day. And here's the contents. So we're going to read Rupa Guru, give up everything and stay with me. I was a fearsome logician, the ideal deity of renunciation. He pulverized my pride. Open your eyes. Service to Sri Guru Padma is the real activity of my being. These are the section, headings. Haribo Sarveshwari Mataji. Okay. Here, I'll make it a bit bigger so you can see it nicely. My Sri Guru Padma is not a teacher of any of the illusory subjects of this world, which are aimed only at enjoyment. Yet, at the same time, he alone is the indisputable genius in every subject in this world. Sadly, because I am deprived and fallen, because of my own weaknesses, not all of my Guru Padma's teachings have entered my heart. Hare Krishna Ananta Omji. 1 second, just. But in order to speak all the teachings that, by my Guru Padma's mercy, have somehow entered through the pathways of my ears, may I possess millions upon millions of tongues, millions upon millions of heads, and millions upon millions of years to live. Then I will sing about the unparalleled compassion. Then I'll sing about the unparalleled compassion and benevolence, the Amando Doya Doya of my Guru Padma throughout the unlimited universes, with millions and millions of tongues and millions of heads for millions and millions of years. Only then will I have truly performed Guru Puja. Only then will he be pleased with me and shower his perpetual blessings upon me, so that I can sing the glory of his matchless compassion with another million of tongues. On that day, I will finally be liberated from singing about fleeting illusory matters. On that day, I will be released from the captivity of all the mundane teachings of this world. This is a very we see like Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur, wanting to have millions and millions of tongues, millions and millions. Like, this is a symptom of somebody who has achieved prem, and this is what is it? Śrīla Gosvāmī, I found something. There's a famous verse by Śrīla Rupa Goswami. Let's see. Let's just open this. So this is Śrīla Gosvāmī in Golden Volcano of Divine Love. There are all the different symptoms, right, in the Shikshashtakam. Each facet of the 7 tongues of Sankirtan come to a higher level, of bhakti. And then finally, you come to, in describing the next step, he takes, after going through Cetodarpanamarjanam, Bhava Mahadavagni Nirapanam, Shreya Kairava, the different effects. Then in describing the next step, he takes the mood of conjugal devotion, the practitioner, where one is absolutely disposed for Krishna's enjoyment, unconditionally surrendering everything for his maximum pleasure. The next effect is the tasting of his ecstatic association. In Vrindavan, the realm of Krishna, one can chant the name of Krishna properly. They will express himself with a peculiar sort of ego. And then there's this verse by Śrīla Rupa Gosvāmī, Tunde tandavini ratem vitanute tundavali labdaye karna kroda. Anyways, that verse, I'm not going to read the whole thing. So the translation is, when the holy name of Krishna appears on the lips of a devotee, it begins madly dancing. Then the name takes over and handles him, as if the person to whom the lips belong loses all control over his lips. And the devotee says, with one mouth, how much can I gather the ecstasy of the holy name? I need millions of mouths to taste its unlimited sweetness. I'll never feel any satisfaction by chanting with only one mouth. When the sound of Krishna enters the ear, he feels that transcendental sounds awaken in his heart. What are 2 ears, he thinks? This is the greatest injustice of the Creator. I need millions of ears. Then if I could hear the sweet name of Krishna, my heart might be a little satisfied. I want millions and millions of ears to hear the sweet name of Krishna. This is the temperament of a devotee. When his attention is drawn toward the holy name, then he faints, he loses himself, merging in an ocean of ecstasy and joy. And in great disappointment, he says, I failed to understand the quality and quantity of the substance of Krishna's name. I am perplexed. What sort of honey sweetness does this name contain? This way, the chanter of the name wanders. So, yes, this is a symptom when our just one mouth is inadequate to glorify the Mahabhagavat. 2 ears are inadequate to hear all the glories. This is a symptom that he's showing. Yeah, Rupanuga Guru. Considering my favorite worldly topics to be very important and valuable, I accepted them deeply into my heart. Thus, I remain madly infatuated with the unconscious world. Sorry. Oh, and I forgot. This section is Rupanuga Guru. Okay, so considering my favorite worldly topics to be very important and valuable, I accepted them deeply into my heart. Thus, I remain madly infatuated with the unconscious world. However, my Gurudev has repeatedly instructed, Shri Chaitanya Mano Bhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Tadati Swapadantikam. Translation is, when will such a master as Sri Rupa, who has propagated and established the deepest desire of Sri Chaitanya Dev's heart throughout the world, personally give me the shelter of his own lotus feet? When will I behold Sri Gurupad Padma's extraordinary transcendental beauty and take shelter single-mindedly at his beautiful feet? When will such a day be mine? I have heard from Sri Gurupad Padma that those who adopt this mentality are Rupanuga and are therefore very dear to Sri Gaurasundar. And as for those who even endeavor to become Rupanuga, Sri Brahma himself could not finish extolling their good fortune, even if he spent his entire life trying. Not even those who are Rupanuga yet, but even those who endeavor to become Rupanuga, Brahma cannot finish extolling their good fortune, even if he spent the entire of his entire life trying. What to speak of those who are actually Rupanuga? Shri Gurupad Padma has eradicated all my doubts and instructed me on the matter of Nam Bhajan. Through this, I came to know that one should not disobey Guru. That is, one should not disobey Shrotavani, the divine message, which descends through the succession of bona fide gurus. Nor should one regard Guru Bhruva, or so-called gurus, as worshipful, and thereby disrespect Sri Gurupad Padma. One should know that without taking refuge of the non-dual absolute truth, Rajendra Nandan, there is no auspiciousness for the living entity. this point is very, very important and very, heavy also. Nor should one regard Guru Bhruva, or so-called gurus, as worshipful, and thereby disrespect Śrī Gurupād Padma. Because I don't know, just speaking for myself at least. Well, I think many of us, it's a tendency that we want to have somebody to give our love to give our, we want somebody to whom we can bow our head at their feet, and somebody to worship. It's like a need that we want to have some kind of, it's just like an emotional need that we have, right? And so people are always idolizing different persons, like just regular people in the world. They'll idolize certain movie stars or certain people that they get inspiration from. They like this tendency to want to, but we have to be so careful. We might come in contact with somebody who gives beautiful classes and has so many amazing qualities, and we're completely attracted to that person. And so then it's natural for us to want to try to, like give too much honor to that person. We have to be, but if we do that, if we're giving too much honor to somebody who isn't on the same level as Guru, then it's actually disrespect to our Guru. It's offensive to Guru to try to worship somebody else on the same level, because then you're bringing your Guru down to that, like pulling him down and trying to place him on the same level as that person. Manjari, what, you have your hand raised?
Yes, Haribol, Hare Krishna. I never heard Bhruva, Guru Bhruva, so I'm curious if you know anything about that word, like to understand it more deeply. And then the other thought that came to mind is that not giving respect, how I want to phrase this. Being careful not to give undue respect to those who don't deserve it doesn't mean you don't give any respect. You respect them appropriately.
Yes.
That was the other thought that came to mind. And then also that Kanishta Adhikaris, like myself, it's inevitable in the earlier stages of bhakti that we cannot discriminate. So it's inevitable that we are not understanding who's on what Vaishnavas are on what level of bhakti. We can't see their level of bhakti, so we're automatically just always making so many offenses, and that it really does take effort, sadhu sangha, and sincere effort to hear. And like Srila Prabhupada says in the Nectar of Instruction, that the sadhak has a responsibility to educate themselves in the topics of bhakti. So that mercy is there, but we also have to endeavor, and we have this responsibility to become educated. Who is a Vaishnav? What are the qualifications? How to give honor to the different kinds of Vaishnavs? Not realizing that someone may not be on the topmost level doesn't mean we totally disrespect them, but just learning how to do that. And can actually only learn by seeing examples of those who are properly following and properly practicing.
Yes. Yeah, and that's why we always have to pray, right? That song, Gurudev Kripavinodiya. Sakale saman korite shakati dehonata jata jata. Jata jata means accordingly. Oh Gurudev, please give me the strength that I can honor everybody properly, according to their level. Jata jata. The word you were asking what the word Bhruva means. The word Bhruva means like in name, so-called. So Guru Bhruva is somebody. Remember, it was in that article. It's in Guru Vandana. Gurudev gives an example of a so-called guru, Guru Bhruva. What was the example he gave? Anyways, but yeah, Guru Bhruva means guru in name only, but not really qualified to. And just yesterday, was it yesterday? Or no, day before yesterday, in our Chaitanya Bhagavat reading, let me just, Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur, he says, this topic kind of came up. Okay. So as devotees always sing the glories of Krishna, Krishna increases the glories of his devotees. If one criticizes an exalted Vaishnava without understanding his behavior, one can never be delivered. Sometimes an exalted Vaishnava exhibits the same behavior and characteristics as a materialistic person. And Srila Sarasvatī Thakur Prabhupada says, at present in Koladweep, many people are unable to understand the extraordinary characteristics of Sri Banshidas Bābājī. The conclusion is that only by the mercy of Krishna can one understand a great Vaishnava. Otherwise, in such intricate situations, one may be either liberated or destroyed. Either liberated or destroyed. Go up or you go far down. But I have found a wonderful solution to this problem. One should always glorify and behave humbly with all. Then there's no chance of disrespecting anybody. Thinking oneself a fool, one should surrender to Krishna and carefully listen to the words of advanced devotees. Krishna will impart transcendental intelligence by which one is completely delivered. So, yeah, we do have to be very, like, we aren't qualified at this stage, we aren't qualified to see who's on what level. I mean, at least I'm speaking for myself, a Kanishta Adhikari, I'm not able to discern who's, and so we do have to give honor to everybody and be humble with everybody because we don't actually know what level everybody's on at. But there's a special respect that is given to Sri Guru that's only for Sri Guru, and we should never respect anybody else on that way until they're really on the same level as our Guru. And if we do give too much honor to somebody like that, like the honor befitting Guru, then we're committing an offense at the lotus feet of Sri Guru. So, one should not regard Guru Bhruva or so-called gurus as worshipful and thereby disrespect Sri Guru Pad Padma. Hare Krishna, Radha Vinod Bihari, Radha Vinod Prabhu. Okay, so one should know that without taking without taking refuge of the non-dual absolute truth, Rajendra Nandan, there is no auspiciousness for the living entity. Give up everything and stay with me. My Gurudev. I'm so audacious to say, my Gurudev. Is my heart so qualified that I can utter this? How exalted are even the toenails of my Guru? And where am I? A dwarf on the lowest platform. How can I even serve Guru Pad Padma? While I sleep, I am robbed of Guru Pad Padma's service. Whoa, sorry, there's a D that came. Yeah, while I sleep, I am robbed of Guru Pad Padma's service. At that time, I remain deeply immersed in selfish pleasure, and I spend the rest of my time feeding and dressing myself. Being bereft of service to Guru Pad Padma, I am unqualified, fallen, and weak. This is a real servant of Guru. There's so much urgency and desperation to serve Gurudev that they condemn themselves for the time they sleep. While I sleep, I'm robbed of Guru Pad Padma's service. At that time I remain, being bereft of service to Guru Pad Padma, I'm unqualified, fallen, and weak. Therefore, had he not profusely showered me with his compassion, I would have even more aggressively exploited the very nature of his mercy than I was doing already. My Guru Pad Padma is the ocean of mercy, and even one drop of his mercy can drown me in an ocean of bliss. What is that? Had he not profusely showered me with his compassion, I would have even more aggressively exploited the very nature of his mercy than I was doing already. What does that mean, to exploit the mercy of Sri Guru? If we try to, he starts this off saying, my Gurudev. I'm audacious to say, my Gurudev. Is my heart so qualified that I can utter this? So I don't know. I'm just, when we come in, like when we come in touch with the Mahabhagavat and they accept us as a disciple, then we can become proud and, you know, I'm a disciple of this person. And so then we're using their mercy on us. We're exploiting their mercy on us to try to, you know, show everybody, look, I am a disciple of this person. But we shouldn't be so audacious to say, you know, that Gurudev's mine and I'm his disciple. I don't know. That's just what I'm understanding from this. But he was so compassionate that he, I mean, this is just one example of what I'm thinking. But he profusely showered me with his compassion. If he hadn't done so, then I would have more aggressively exploited the very nature of his mercy than I was doing already. My Guru Padma is the ocean of mercy, and even one drop of his mercy can drown me in an ocean of bliss. How merciful was he that he used to say to me, your scholarship, your purity, and your aristocracy, give it all up and come stay with me. You will not have to go anywhere else. Whatever you need, a cottage, a house, a mansion, a palace, whatever scholarship and prestige you need, or whatever degree of self-control and renunciation you wish to attain, you will get it all by being here. Just come to me. Do not run here and there, impelled by desires like, I must have a nice home, I must find a good means to achieve material success, and I must become vastly learned. Do not aspire to achieve that what ordinary people value so much. Do not aspire to achieve that what ordinary people value so much. I was a fearsome, yes.
Haribol Prabhu.
Yes, Shubhananda Prabhu.
This particular paragraph reminds me of an article from, where it is actually, from bigdrum.com. Just a minute. Okay, I will share later.
Okay, yes, please find it.
Yes, please.
And when you do find it, let me know, and then we can go back to that.
Yes.
Okay. I was a fearsome logician. But out of immense compassion, he kicked my pride aside. Thus he showed me his mercy. If I were to try to find the limit of his mercy, I would not succeed even if I continued searching for unlimited lifetimes. In fact, no one will ever find its limit. And now this mood is coming here. I am in no way qualified to introduce myself as his servant. I am in no way qualified to introduce myself as his servant. Still, he has suffused me with the hope that I can identify myself as a servant. And through that hope, I can always stay alive. It's so beautiful. I really like this point. I'm in no way qualified to introduce myself as a servant. Still, he has suffused me with the hope that I can identify myself as a servant. And through that hope, I can always stay alive.
Haribol Prabhu.
Yes, Shubhananda Prabhu.
I have posted it in a message, and now I can just briefly. The title of this article is Śrī Bhagavater Punaravritti, the recitation of Śrī Bhagavat by Śrī Jagadguru Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Ṭhākura Prabhupāda. It's a very big article regarding the very special mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in all this darshanik drishta versions. And at the very last point, rather conclusion statement is same. Is stated as giving regard to any type of sadhana other than the described in this verse will simply be a waste of our time. We shall simply adopt the following sort of preaching presented by Tridandi Path Sri Prabodhananda and progress along the path of Kirtan. Dante nidhaya trinakam padayor nipatya kritva chakakushatam etat aham bravami. He sadhava sakalam eva vihaya durad gauranga chandra charaner kurutanuragam. With a piece of straw between my teeth, I fall at your feet and beseech you in 100 ways to say this, O saintly person, relinquish all that you have learned and simply develop loving attachment for the feet of Gauranga Chandra. Very good.
Yeah, beautiful. And this is from an article from Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Prabhupada also. Yes, relinquish all that you have learned and simply develop loving attachment for the feet of Gauranga Chandra. And we'll see in this article, we already read it and we'll read it more about this point of how Śrīla Gaura-kiśora Bābājī Mahārāja, he said that he made him relinquish all that we have learned, all this pride and just simply, yeah, beautiful. Okay. So I am in no way qualified to introduce myself as a servant. Still, he has suffused me with the hope that I can identify as a servant. And through that hope, I can always stay alive. I used to feel that I was drowning in joylessness, nirananda, and that I was absorbed in so many temporary activities. It is clear that I am weak. So I felt that when my Sri Gurudev would disappear, I would go astray, for then I would not be able to hear his teachings. But today, many, many incarnations of Sri Gurupad Padma have mercifully presented themselves before me. Here, Srila Prabhupada refers to his pure disciples, or Sat Shishyas, as incarnations of his Gurudev. Wow. Let's just reread that. So it is clear that I'm weak, and I felt that when my Gurudev would disappear, I would go astray, for then I would not be able to hear his teachings. But today, many, many incarnations of Sri Gurupad Padma have mercifully presented themselves before me. They do kirtan in front of me, and they read the Bhagavatam and explain it to me. When they reveal ever-fresh explanations in accordance with my Sri Gurupad Padma's heart, they bring life back to my dying body. Only because of this, I regain consciousness and attain the good fortune of hearing and speaking Harikatha 24 hours a day, every day. Wow, so Śrīla Sarasvatī Thakur considered his disciples, his pure disciples, as being incarnations of his Gurudev. And actually later on in this article, he'll refer to them as his Guru Varga. He's referring to his disciples as his Guru Varga. The ideal deity of renunciation. Oh, Hare Krishna Gopal Ganesham Prabhu and Prerna. Yeah, Hare Krishna. Oh, Mithun, Hare Krishna. Okay, so the ideal deity of renunciation. Oh, yes, Sarveshwari, you raised your hand?
Yeah, sorry, just because I missed the first part. Who is talking this? Who is talking this about this article?
Like this article is written by Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Thakur Prabhupada.
It's written by him. I'm talking about, all right.
Yes.
Because I missed the first part. All right.
Okay, no problem. Okay. Renunciation is something I had only read about in stories or had read instructions on books like Vairagya Shataka, 100 verses regarding renunciation, Shanti Shataka, 100 verses regarding peace, and Moha Mudgara, the hammer that demolishes illusion. But when the mercy of that most compassionate Lord Shri Krishna and of that most compassionate Krishna, that means Krishna's devotee. So when both of their mercy, both the mercy of Krishna and Karshana both fell upon me, the personification of Bhagavan's own renunciation, Vairagya, appeared before me. We know of what are the 6 bhagas, the 6 opulences, the 6 bhagas which make him Bhagavan? Well, one of the last ones is Vairagya, right? And so the very personification of Bhagavan's own renunciation, not just some material renunciation or this renunciation that you find in Vairagya Shanta Shanti. No, but the personification of Bhagavan's his own personal renunciation appeared before me. Although it is not possible for such renunciation to inhabit a human form, I nevertheless had the opportunity to see it in Śrī Gaura-kīśora. Yet, despite seeing him, I've somehow remained in the same darkness. My body gives me obstacles, and I am unable to serve Guru Padma 24 hours a day. The deity of ideal renunciation, whom I personally beheld, was not the embodiment of renunciation that merely demolishes illusion, nor of pretentious renunciation, Falgur Vairagya. The renunciation he embodied was replete with the pinnacle of service to Krishna, completely steeped in Mahabhav. May he whose renunciation extends not only to wealth and women, but to personal prestige as well, be my object of worship. I aspired for the lotus feet of such a Sri Guru, who would not accept even a single disciple. Still, I presented myself before him and begged for his mercy. He told me, I made one disciple previously, but that disciple cheated me and left. So I have decided not to make any more disciples. Although I was distressed by his reply, I made a firm vow. I will see how many times I am rejected, but without his mercy, I will not venture out into the world. He pulverized my pride. When I came before that very Guru Padma, I could understand by his mercy that what I had considered to be the topmost ideal and the very best way of life was to him the lowest of all. Although my ideal was extraordinary compared to the ideals of the people of this world, my Śrī Gaura-kīśora showed me one conception that was truly and absolutely transcendent. Prior to this revelation, I'd studied many books by impersonalists expounding the idea of neti. The phrase na iti, that's neti, or it is not this, is the answer to the question, is this Brahma? In other words, if someone seeks the absolute spirit through empirical investigation, he will inevitably engage in negating all perceivable objects and designations, deeming them non-absolute. So that's the meaning of neti. No, this is not absolute. This is not absolute. Not this. So, So I had studied many books by impersonalists expounding the idea of neti, a systematic negation of mundane attachments and designations. Now I had found an actual exemplar of it. Śrī Gaura-kīśora told me, the ideal you now seek is not your true ideal. I used to think that my Guru Padma's caliber of renunciation was second to none, but that his erudition was somewhat lacking. He pulverized my pride in my book knowledge by the mallet of his mercy and made me understand that my topmost ideal was in fact the most despicable. When these words of his entered my ears, when I received his mercy, my tiny brain did not have the strength to hold that divine knowledge. He had given an opportunity to a fool and a know-it-all like me to hear such a profound matter. My Guru Padma never became involved in any matter of this world. but he pretended to bestow his mercy upon an unqualified person like me. The renunciation of the world's most renounced personalities cannot compare to even a tiny fraction of 100th part of his renunciation. Śrīla Raghunath Das Goswami Prabhu's renunciation was fully manifest in my Prabhu. Wow. Śrīla Raghunath Das Goswami Prabhu's renunciation was fully manifest in my Prabhu. If the account of his life is published in the world, this is what I was talking about. If my Guru Varga, and Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Thakur Prabhupada here refers to his disciples as his Guru Varga. So if the account of his life is published in the world, if my Guru Varga publishes an account of his transcendental life in simple language and propagates it everywhere, then the entire world will be vastly benefited. My Guru Padma did not only say that one should give up wealth and women, rather he instructed that even the urge to portray oneself as a great saint must be renounced. He was a Bhagavat Paramahamsa. Open your eyes. Open your eyes. Okay. People say that today is a disappearance day of my Guru Padma. However, I consider that today is his appearance day, and that I may worship him for eternity by glorifying him with a million mouths. That I may worship him for eternity by glorifying him with a million mouths and millions of other senses. Compelled by compassion, my Sri Guru Padma has appeared in this world to bestow upon me, by the collyrium of knowledge, the divine realization that I am the servant of Nanda Nandan. Due to my ignorance, I had come to believe that enjoying the objects of the senses was my duty and purpose in life. Thus, I had completely lost sight of my real duty. But my Sri Guru Padma has appeared in this world to dispel the darkness of my ignorance. Yeah, this is like the verse, Ajñānatimirandasya. Unable to see that supreme object, which is impossible to see with these eyes that simply obstruct what I'm meant to behold in my sight eternally, and unable to see that supreme object, which is the only thing worth seeing, all I can see is the sensual veil that covers my eyes. Thus, all I see is sense gratification within this transient world. This is such an important point. Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Goswāmī Mahārāja, my Param Gurudev, writes about this a lot, this topic, being unable to see that supreme object, which is impossible to see with these eyes that simply obstruct what I'm meant to hold in my sight eternally. My eyes actually obstruct when I'm looking at a Vaishnava. My eyes are obstructing my vision of the Vaishnava. Actually, that was in the previous article that we read, wasn't it? By Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Thakur Prabhupada. It's right here. The Immortal Oceans of Mercy. That was the previous one that we read by him, his explanation of Vanchakalpatarubhyashta. So Śrīla Sarasvatī Thakur Prabhupada says, when a man tries to see the Vaishnavas through his own set of spectacles, how can he see them properly as they truly are? When a man tries to see the Vaishnavas through his own set of spectacles, how can he see them properly as they truly are? Vaishnavas can only be properly seen by the light of their own mercy. So, all I can see is a sensual veil that covers my eyes. Thus, all I see is sense gratification within this transient world. However, Sri Guru Padma removes the veil from my eyes and grants me true sight by divine knowledge. He pulls away the veil that covers my eyes, slightly parts my eyelids, and instructs me, open your eyes and look. For so long, I thought I could see with my eyes shut. So I am abandoning my pride and offering namaskar to Śrī Guru Padma. This indeed is the ingredient, the arghya of my worship. The act of renouncing the arrogant conception that I am the seer and enjoyer is called namaskar. Okay, what is namaskar? Namaskar is the act of renouncing the arrogant conception that I am the seer and enjoyer. Namaskar. When I was nurturing the misconception that I am the doer, Śrī Guru Padma opened my eyes and dismissed my notions of reality, which were improperly conceived. Driven by some other knowledge, I was following the blind. Guru Padma made me realize that I must not follow the blind, that I must follow Śrī Guru Padma, who is possessed of divine vision, and that to worship Śrī Guru Padma was my duty. Service to Śrī Guru Padma is the real activity of my being. By Guru Padma's grace, I have developed the conviction that service to him is my one and only duty and is, in fact, the real activity of my being. And after having darshan of Guru Padma, the conviction that there is any necessity of doing something other than serving him was totally dispelled. Just to rescue me from the clutches of arrogance.
Can you read that again?
Yes.
Can you read that?
Yes.
Thank you.
I'll start from the beginning, actually, because just to get the full flow. By Guru Padma's grace, I have developed the conviction that service to him is my one and only duty and is, in fact, the real activity of my being. This is the real activity of my being. It's my one and only duty, and it's the activity of my being, the real activity of my being. And after having darshan of Guru Padma, the conviction that there is any necessity of doing something other than serving him was totally dispelled. Just to rescue me from the clutches of arrogance, Bhagavan's beloved servant, his most cherished companion, revealed to me eternal service to Nandan Nandan, for he was overwhelmed by compassion. Only then could I understand that in relation to the living entity's true identity, there is no duty and no source of auspiciousness apart from satisfying the senses of Nandan Nandan. The son of Nanda is the sole object of the living entity's spiritual practice, and attaining him is the one and only goal. And Śrī Guru Padma is Nandan Nandan's very dearly beloved. Yes. That is real Sambandha Gyan when you truly see a relationship and you truly understand that nothing else matters. The only thing that matters is serving Nandan Nandan. And Śrī Guru Padma is Nandan Nandan's very dearly beloved. Then it doesn't matter what responsibilities you have in this world. It might seem like a very big deal, but actually we see things in reality and from a true perspective that actually everything is meaningless. Every single responsibility is meaningless other than serving Śrī Guru Padma. Service to that Guru Padma cannot be performed by inept persons like me, not by body, not by mind, not by words, and not by any other type of instrument. How could a service of Guru Padma can't be performed by body, mind, words, or any other type of instrument? Then how do we worship him? Let's see. Not by my potency. However, Śrī Guru Padma infuses me with potency and looks at me with loving eyes. Perhaps if I can obtain his grace, then by his causeless, heartfelt mercy, I may achieve the qualification to serve him. Wow, that's a very important point. We can't serve Guru Padma. We have no ability to serve Guru Padma. It's only if he infuses me with his potency, and then I can serve him. Śrī Guru Padma infuses me with potency and looks at me with loving eyes. Perhaps if I can obtain his grace. Yes,
sorry to jump in, but these kinds of moods, these kinds of expressions and the words, like what he's sharing here, it's impossible. Like the point we were talking about before, which is giving the honor which is reserved for Śrī Guru Padma, giving that honor to anyone else who's not on the same level. These kinds of moods won't come in the heart, cannot come in the heart from any other place except from the absolutely pure channel of, as we just read before, Sri Nandanandan. And the contrast between this kind of words and mood that Sarasvatī Thakur Prabhupada is writing here or speaking. Is it written or spoken? I wonder, this article, was it spoken?
I think it's spoken, but I don't know actually. We'll see at the end. Yeah.
Anyway, that was just a thought, just that how extraordinary what he's, and by his speaking it, it's having an effect on us who are listening and who are taking it into our hearts. And that is, as he just said, it's by the Shakti of that Sri Guru, not any other kind of person. So we're feeling the effects of what he's describing as he's describing it.
Yes, very nicely said. Actually, we could call this article, like the title of the article is Śrīla Gaura-kīśora, the Deity of True Renunciation or something, right? But we could give the title to this article, the Śrīla Sarasvatī Thakur, the deity of being a true disciple, Sat Shishya, right? This is like the topmost example of a real disciple of Guru, how we should become like with Sri Guru. Yeah.
And then he's demonstrating, but through his humility and revealing, he doesn't have to reveal all these moods, but by revealing all of these truths, he's demonstrating to us how to recognize Vaishnavas who are, true Shishya, Sat Shishya and Sat Guru. He's demonstrating by revealing this.
Yes. And it's such an important point that actually also Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Gosvāmī Mahārāja, my Param Guru, he mentions this point a lot also in his articles, that Sri Guru doesn't need anything from us. There's no lacking in Sri Guru. Lots of times we'll think that, oh, I'm doing so much service, I'm doing such an important service for Gurudev, and like if I didn't do this service, then there'd be some lacking, he'd have some deficiency. I'm doing this big service for him or this big, but actually if we're thinking like that, we are 100% mistaken. He doesn't need anything from us, and yeah, we have to come to this point where we understand. What was it? He said that service to that Guru Padma cannot be performed by inept persons like me, not by body, not by minds, not by words, and not by any other type of instrument. So you might even be seemingly externally doing big service for Guru, even going to a new country and making everybody devotees there and whatever. You might think that you're doing service to Guru, but you're not. Service isn't about what you're physically doing and what the outcome is. That's not service. Service is only done when Sri Guru Padma infuses. However, Sri Guru Padma infuses me with potency and looks at me with loving eyes. Perhaps if I can obtain his grace, then by his causeless, heartfelt mercy, I may achieve the qualification to serve him.
That's incredible. And this attitude, if you have this attitude, it would be absolutely impossible to fall into any kind of calamity or entanglement with something that's, because you won't, there's no chance of falling into any kind of wrong situation, wrong association. If you have this mood and this humility and this loyalty, this dedication to Sri Guru, there's no chance any kind of entanglement. No fear, no fear.
Yes. Yes. I am not speaking theoretically. The day Sri Guru Padma placed his lotus feet, which are unattainable even for demigods, upon the head of such an undeserving person as me, and bathed me in their dust, was the day I was first able to understand what my supreme auspiciousness was. A spiritual master such as Sri Guru Padma wields the power to give service to the Supreme. May I have the ability to assimilate that awesome mercy. Wow, that's beautiful. A spiritual master such as Sri Guru Padma wields the power to give service to the Supreme. May I have the ability to assimilate that awesome mercy. From that day, I certainly sought to resolve such incomparable auspiciousness from Sri Guru Padma. Sri Guru Padma is an exclusive servant of the Lord. If I cannot obtain his mercy, if I cannot obtain the divine knowledge, then I will not even be able to comprehend the glory of Guru Padma. Sri Guru Padma is eternal. May I not be bereft of his company for even a moment. Within even a moment of time, my bond with Guru Padma can be broken. So may I never abandon Guru Padma for even 1/11th of a second, enticed by some mundane temptation. May I never cheat myself of my connection to Guru Padma on account of heeding useless advice from worldly people who are fully averse to him. Sri Guru Padma can protect me from all these deceptive perils. So at the beginning of every year, of every month, of every day, and of every moment, it is my duty to worship that Sri Guru Padma. My Gurudev is present in various forms. If he did not exist in so many forms, then who would protect me? I think Śrīla Gaura-kīśora talks about this point in Śrī Guruna's Grace. My Gurudev is present in various forms. If he did not exist in so many forms, then who would protect me? Those whom my Gurudev took to be his own are my saviors. But as for those who blaspheme my Guru Padma, or anyone who gives shelter to those who blaspheme him, may those inauspicious wretches never cross the path of my vision. Not even those who blaspheme, but even those who give shelter to those who blaspheme. May that person, those inauspicious wretches, never cross the path of my vision. At every moment, he draws me to his lotus feet to keep me there. The moment I stray from Guru Padma, the moment I stray from Guru Padma, the moment I forget Guru Padma, is the moment I verily fall from truth. If I do not remember Guru Padma on the onset of every year, month, day, and moment, I will surely meet with more and more peril. I will desire to be Guru and will adopt the wicked mentality that others ought to call me Guru and worship me. Thus, I will have succumbed to meaningless infatuations, dvitiya abhinivesh. So this is reminding me of some songs by Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta, but I'll continue on. So it should not be that I came to perform Guru Puja today. It should not be that I came to perform Guru Puja today. It should be that at every moment we are engaging in an eternal Guru Puja. This is translated from the Nikata Kala Varti Chara Rupanuga Vaishnavacharya, Exalted Rupanuga Vaishnavas of present times, compiled and translated and edited by Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Gosvāmī Mahārāja, originally published in the weekly Gauḍīya, published in Rays of the Harmonist 2011, Vyāsa-pūjā edition. Wow. Let's just reread that last part again. At every moment, he draws me to his lotus feet to keep me there. The moment I stray from Guru Padma, the moment I forget Guru Padma, is the moment I verily fall from truth. If I do not remember Guru Padma on the onset of every year, month, day, and moment, I will surely meet with more and more peril. I will desire to be Guru and will adopt the wicked mentality that others ought to call me Guru and worship me. Thus, I will have succumbed to meaningless infatuations, Dvitiya Binivesh. So it should not be that I came to perform Guru Puja today. It should be that at every moment we are engaging in an eternal Guru Puja. Jai. Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Gosvāmī Prabhupāda ki jai. Jai. Śrīla Gaura-kiśora Bābājī Mahārāja ki jai. The manifestation of Śrī Gaura-Padma in all of its forms, all of the different forms. Ki jai. Wow. These kinds of articles are, even though like coming to this stage is like seems impossible, but we have to always read them to see the ideals that we always have to see what we're aspiring for. And then even though maybe we haven't come to that stage, at least whatever situation we find ourselves in, we'll know what we're aspiring for. We should always be very clear and remind ourselves on that aspiration. And yeah, by the mercy of Śrī Gaura-Padma, everything is possible. Haribo, Radha Vinod Prabhu. Yes.
Radha Prabhuji, Dhanur Pranam. Everyone else, please accept my Dhanur Pranams as per your qualification. I'm really hoping that this is not a symptom of my Vacho Vegam, but these articles, they are like lifeblood. I just, it's so much we are getting from it, from our perspective to what perspective it should be. The gap is so immense that I don't even can think of a word in English to describe. And the fact, I'm just very politely, I'm just saying that there is an article by Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur criticizing a Vaishnav. I think that was published in the Harmonist, right?
Yes.
And I hope that in future when we come to discuss that, because in Chaitanya Charitamrita, I think who has said there is Vaishnava Bhruva, Vaishnava Pray, and Vaishnav. And Vaishnav is Shraddhavana Jana Hai Bhakti Adhikari, Uttam Kanishta. So it really is a problem identifying a Vaishnav. Because if you're not careful, there you're committing an offense. But if you're not careful enough, then you are dragging yourself in the company of the Dharma Dhwajis, as we call them. Param Gurudev has written very extensively about them when he is Hindi version of Updeshamrit, when he is describing the Dusanga. So not knowing what could be the Satsanga, we go in Kusanga and just waste our time, energy. So it's very, very important the way Srila Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Thakur is exactly, I think when I read his articles, he spells out. It doesn't leave anything to imagination. And I just recently, I came across a book called Prabhupada Sarasvatī Thakur, The Life and Precepts of Srila Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī. I'm sure you have seen that book. And here,
it's being published again,
and he has said here that the mood of Srimati Radharani, okay, he was the embodiment of Vipralambha, Śrīla Gaura-kiśora Bābājī. And it's saying so many things like Gaura-kiśora Das could not tolerate unsuccessful bhajan. When there was no Nam Spurti, manifestation of name, he would go often to throw himself into Ganges. He entered the water up to his neck and would only come out again when the name would appear. And
Wow.
he would fall into trances, madly calling out the name of Krishna in that bhav. He locked the door of his meditation hut from within, and he stayed for 13 days yelling, "Ha, Krishna Chaitanya," crying continuously, slapping himself on the chest and tearing at his hair. It's just beyond, like, it's just, you know what I mean? Like, when we see they are Vaishnav, then obviously he's called a Paramhansa. Sannyasi, then Kutichak, Bahudak, Hans, Paramhans. It's beyond. But if we lose sight of these personalities, really it's calamity. So I just want to thank you and all the Vaishnavas who come together. I mean, unfortunately, I've not been able to come, and again, I keep quiet as well, because I don't want to look like Vacho Vegam and all that. But it's something really important to understand. What does it say? Vaishnavere Kriya Mudra Vigyena Bujhaya. Because they can, they have the power to do kripa or do vanchana. Depends on what you want from them, right? If you go with kapat, then you get so much kapat that you will be destroyed. But if it's very hard, very hard. So I hope that someday we will be able to get the perspective of really how to, serve the Guru Padma, because technically speaking, as he said, that the Guru Padma is manifest in everyone. It is how we see it through the Gauḍīya darshan. That is how we can see. Otherwise, we will be like, I'm talking about myself, will be doomed, So I really, I'm thankful for everybody who's participating and so much nectar coming out. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. That is very nice. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's oh yes,
Thank-
very Hari.
Yes. That was very nice. It's very multi-layer in the sense that how he brings us from playing. It's like Arjuna playing the part of a regular king or a prince. Our Param Gurudev is bringing us to from there, that position, to and detail how to attain the supreme, which is, he says, it's impossible. So like you were saying, how do we do it then? It's to get that mood of surrender to Guru. That's all we need is Gurudev. We can't survive without him. That thing, maybe then, if we can aspire to that, that's, I think he's bringing forth. But it's fantastic too, because we also he shows us what a real guru is, and they are beyond the three modes of material nature. So we could get so confused real quickly. God brothers. And so one of my God brothers said, "Oh no, Prabhupada was, our Gurudev was riddled with disease like that. I was there. We hadn't had at that time the 11th canto, and we hadn't had at that time the wealth of information that you yourself are responsible for digging out. You know what I mean? Because the 11th canto, you can see in Srimad Bhagavatam how we should never disrespect Guru and Acharya. He's the same as Krishna. And so that's what I said. It's pretty deep. Thank you for bringing up this article and multi-layer, but we can see that to get a real good perspective of where we're at and who's the real thing. And
Yes.
wow, it's awesome. Thank
Otherwise, if we don't have these kinds of examples, if Srila Sarasvatī Thakur Prabhupada didn't leave this for us, didn't show us, then we might think that actually I'm pretty surrendered. Oh yeah, I'm serving Shri Guru. But now we can know very clearly, without a doubt, oh my God, I haven't even begun. I don't even know. I haven't even begun to aspire for it, like for this kind of thing. Yeah.
Even started even in self he thinks unqualified. At one point he thinks that way too. So
But
yeah.
At every step, 100% we're fully dependent on the mercy of Sri Guru to be able to serve him, to be able to know his glories, to be able to do anything. We're 100%. And the moment we forget that, then we start to think that I'm doing this, I'm doing that. We start to want people to honor us, right? But we always have to have our, like, if our attention is always directed to Sri Guru in a sincere mood, then we're safe. But the second we're not fully focused on him, and knowing that, you know, it's only by his mercy that I can make even a single step of advancement, then we're destroyed. And so that's why he says that every moment we have to be doing this Guru Puja for eternity.
Yeah, well, you mentioned one thing about he does about it's because of Guru's potency that we're able to get an inkling, or we're able to like come in, even close to serve. So that's one of the things that we, as disciples of pure devotees, have experienced. Sorry, I was like, I got a little distracted here.
No problem.
But
I really like the point. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, go ahead. You really like the point?
No, I really like the point when, like, how he kept on saying that, may I have millions and millions of tongues so that I could glorify him for millions of years and on millions of universes. And like there's that much excitement to glorify Shri Gurudev. And I know, like, when it comes time for Gurudev's disappearance day or an appearance day, and there's a bunch of devotees around, I'm thinking, oh my God, how am I going to be able to glorify him for this long, like with this one mouth? I'm like, oh God, I hope and like, I'm doing it just, you know, because I want to be able to say something nice or whatever. But like, it's just like when we come to that kind of level, we're so excited to glorify Gurudev that we, like, one mouth is not enough. Even millions of mouths are not enough. And yeah, that's the ideal. We want to come to that stage where we're so excited to constantly glorify Gurudev. That's the ideal. Like, in a day, how much, or even in the week, how many times did I glorify Gurudev? For how long? It's you can, like, this yeah, it's just it's good to understand how much we're lacking.
A little story I told you about a few times already, but that's one thing Prabhupada saw himself as, or told us about, by being one of us, in a sense to encourage us, but he said the secret of my success, it was that I follow my Guru Maharaja's order, instructions, to the point of, I mean, he risked his life, you know, that he was severely tested.
Yeah, and it wasn't what Srila Prabhupada did that is the most amazing thing, because, like, you know, but it was what with the mood that he did it with. That is everything. Somebody could do an amazing feat, you know, and make devotees all around the world. But like, and Guru uses lots of instruments to perform different tasks. Like, the instruments isn't the glorious thing, really, but it's the mood with what you do. Like, and we read Srila Prabhupada in the Jaladuta prayers and everything. Srila Prabhupada's mood, he's not really so worried about the outcome of the service. He's worried about, well, it's all about the sorry, I'm going on a tangent, but it's like it's success, failure. That's not what is important. The main important thing is that he's just able to use himself in his Gurudev service, and whatever Krishna wants to happen, that's in his hands. But just that I can be able to perform service, that's the only thing that matters.
Yeah, our Srila Prabhupada, it also said that to a devotee, don't get fixated on that. This service that's the goal and has to attain that to call it successful. The successful is that you put all your 100% devotion, your sacrifice, you put aside your ego, that ahankara we were talking about. And Guru is expert at dissolving.
Yes. Archana Didi is asking, how can we possibly and practically do Guru Puja at every moment? Well, yeah, we can't actually do Guru Puja. It's not possible for us to, right? That we were just reading it. There's no way I can serve Guru. There's no way I can worship Guru. But if we pray to Gurudev for mercy, and he's giving us instructions all the time, right? And so but we can't even follow Gurudev's instructions without his mercy. Like his mercy is the main thing at every step. And so if we're sincerely praying, and Śrīla Sarasvatī Ṭhākura Prabhupada showing us how to pray, and if we can continue cultivating this mood of prayer, and so then by Sri Gurudev's mercy, we'll be able to perform Guru Puja at every moment. Yeah. But praying is the most essential thing. If we're not praying, then we're going off course. Yeah.
Yeah, prayers are powerful, especially
we don't know how to pray also, so we need to read articles like this so that we can see, okay, this is how we pray. And like all the kirtans also in our songbook, all the prayers of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, we don't know how to pray, so we use his prayers. and we're constantly practicing using these prayers, and because he knows how to pray. And then we pray to him before we start to sing these prayers. I don't know how to pray, but may your mood of prayer, may I be able to taste a drop of what it means to actually pray, and like that. And that's
serve you. Well, Shamarani Didi, he gave me an article, gave me actually a paper that she printed, but actually it was instructions that Gurudev Srila Mahārāja had given her, and how to approach. She said, I never ate prasadam. I served prasadam. I don't chant the name, I serve the name. And when it comes to Shastra, I approach it that way, we doing service to Guru. We even as a thank you thing, imagine the 6 Gosvāmis and all our Guru Varga, they had spondylitis, on their neck, writing for 40 hours, and, when, he 40 pages in one go, or like that. Being really involved that way, just, undergoing so much austerity on their bodies.
Yeah.
Much.
Thank you. So we now have 5 minutes left. So I think we can maybe we can end with singing a kirtan, and then we can end our session for today. And thank you so much, Nari Hari Prabhu and Radha Vinod Prabhu, for very wonderful contributions. All right, so we are now. Well, I think nice. Did we sing this already in one of our sessions? Anyways, I think this is appropriate. This song, Kripa Koro Vaishnav Thakur by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. I'll read the translation and we can sing it. Please bestow your mercy, O Vaishnav Thakur, so that as I come to know my relationship with Shri Krishna and that which is near and dear to him, and continue to engage in bhajan, my false ego will be dispelled. If I develop the idea that I am a Vaishnav, then I will never become humble. My heart will become contaminated with the desire to receive honor from others, and I shall go to hell. I will know myself to be your servant, I will know myself to be your servant, having given up the false conception of being Guru. With sincerity, I shall always honor your remnants, the water that has washed your feet, and the dust of your feet. If I consider myself to be superior to all and give my remnants and so forth to others, the weight of my false pride will become very heavy. Thus, always remaining in the mood of your disciple, I will not accept worship from others. If I renounce the desire for honor for myself and instead offer respect to others, you will give me the qualification to perform kirtan. Without duplicity, I shall cry and roll on the ground at your lotus feet. And we can just sing it together. I won't do lead and response. We'll just sing it together because it's late. Kripa karo Vaishnava Ṭhākura, Kripa karo Vaishnava Ṭhākura, Sambandha janiya bhajite bhajite abhimana ho dur, Kripa karo Vaishnava Ṭhākura, Ami to Vaishnava e buddhi hoile amani na havo ami, Pratishtha shayasi hridaya dushibe hoibo niray kami, tomara kinkar apane janibo, Guru abhimana tyaji, tomara uchishta padachala renu sada nishkapate bhaji, nije shreshta jani uchishta didane hobe abhimana bhara, Thai shishatava Thakiya sarvada, Thai shishatava Thakiya sarvada, Naloibo pujakar, Naloibo amani manata hoile kirtane adhikara dive tumi, tomara charane nishkapate ami kandiya lutibo bhumi, kandiya lutibo bhumi, Kripa karo Vaishnava Ṭhākura, Kripa karo Vaishnava Ṭhākura, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Gaura-kīśora Prabhu Gaura-kīśora Jaya Gaura-kīśora Prabhu Gaura-kīśora Gaura-kīśora Prabhu Gaura-kīśora Gaura-kīśora Prabhu Gaura-kīśora Jaya Bhakti Vinod Bhakti Vinod Bhakti Vinod Ṭhākura Bhakti Vinod Bhakti Vinod Bhakti Vinod Bhakti Vinod Ṭhākura Bhakti Vinod Jai Guru Deva Guru Deva Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Jai Guru Deva Guru Deva Guru Deva Jai Guru Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Jai Shri Guru Gauranga Gandharvika Giridhari Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Ju ki Jai Shri Govinda Gopinath Madan Mohan Ju ki Jai Jai Shri Gandharvika Giridhari ki Jai Jai Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashutara Shata Shishmar Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj Śrīla Gurudev ki Jai Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashutara Shata Shishmar Śrīla Bhakti Vedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj ki Jai Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashutara Shata Shishmar Śrīla Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupāda ki Jai Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupad Shishmar Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj ki Jai Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashutara Shata Shishmar Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Goswami Prabhupāda, the ideal servant of Sri Guru ki Jai. Jai, the Nityalila Pravishta Mahabhagavat, the deity of ideal renunciation, Śrīla Gaura-kīśora Das Bābājī Mahārāja ki Jai. Nityalila Pravishta Śrīla Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Ṭhākura ki Jai. Nityalila Pravishta Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Śrīla Jagannath Das Bābājī Mahārāja ki Jai. Shri Rupanuga Gaudiya Guru Varga ki Jai. All the associates of Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Goswami Prabhupada ki Jai. Jai Shri Rup Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jeev Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunath Shar Goswami Prabhu ki Jai. Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda ki Jai. Namacharya Śrīla Haridas Ṭhākura ki Jai. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Shri Kshetra Mandala Gaura Mandala Vraja Mandala Mathura Vrindavan Dham ki Jai. Sarva Abhishta Pradata Giriraj Maharaj ki Jai. Shri Radha Kunda Shama Kunda ki Jai. Shri Yamuna Devi Ganga Devi ki Jai. Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi ki Jai. Shri Bhakti Devi ki Jai. Shri Purnamasi Yogamaya ki Jai. Shri Gopeshwar Mahadev ki Jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai. Jai, the weekly Gauḍīya in which this was published ki Jai. All the magazines, all the periodicals of Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Goswami Prabhupada ki Jai. And all the periodicals of all of his disciples and followers ki Jai. Rays of the Harmonist magazine ki Jai. Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai. Samagata Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Shri Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Vrindai Tulsi Devai Priyai Keshavashacha Krishna Bhakti Pradadevi Satyavatai Namo Namaha Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Dandavat pranams, dear devotees. Let's see all who's here. Hare Krishna, Nri Hari Prabhu, and Bhavatarani Mataji, and Sarveshwari Mataji, Satya Mataji, Anadi Krishna Prabhu, Shubhananda Prabhu, Archana Didi, Champak Didi, Radha Vinod Prabhu, Prerna Moore, and Krishna Mai Didi. Oh, Gopal Ganesham left. Manjari left. Ananta Om left. Okay, Dandavat pranams anyways. And Prajumna Prabhu, Mantaramurti Mataji, Rasapriya Didi, Mithun, Rajbhuvan Yadavji, Vidya Lalasa Didi, Vangsiwala Prabhu, and everybody else watching Dandavat pranams. Thank you so much for joining, and I look forward to the next one. I think the next article will be by Śrīla Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Gosvāmī Mahārāja, Param Gurudev. That will be next Akadashi, I think. Yeah, next Akadashi. All right. Jai Shri Radhe. Hari Bol. See you all next time. Hari Bol.